The main assault by Algerian troops to free hostages at a gas facility in the desert appears to have ended, leaving many Islamist militants and their captives unaccounted for. Now, Algerian state radio is reporting that special forces are still surrounding part of the complex where militants are holding a number of hostages. Some of the captives were freed in the operation, but the number of fatalities is still not known. Britain's Prime Minister David Cameron's warned the UK needs to prepare for the possibility of further bad news.
There are now conflicting reports about what exactly happened, but here's some of what we do know so far. The hostages were taken on Wednesday morning after an armed group raided the gas facility. Well, the Algerian military deployed there shortly afterwards. On Thursday afternoon, Algerian forces carry out ground and air assaults while the hostages were being transferred from one part of the facility to another. The Algerian authorities now say security forces finally ended the siege late on Thursday night, but a number of the hostages still haven't been accounted for.
Reuters is reporting that perhaps up to 30 hostages may have been killed. The Norwegian Statoil company says that 5 of the 17 staff it had there were held hostage. 9 remain unaccounted for. Those 5 that did escape are on their way back to Norway, possibly through London, and that up to 3 planes have been chartered with some 40 employees on board. We also understand that Americans were among the hostages as well, that some have been freed and some are unaccounted for. Again, no real numbers. One of the interesting points in all this as well is that Downing Street and the State Department were not made aware that the Algerians were going in with force before that operation started. So there's going to be a lot of information that will come through on Friday about exactly what information was given to the Western countries whose hostages were being held and what was held back. It appears at the moment that the Algerians decided to go in without consulting their Western partners in all this, and that's bound to have caused some diplomatic difficulties.
Uncertainty surrounds the fate of those within this gas plant in Algeria, following a military operation to free hundreds of workers held hostage by militants. Algerian forces gained control of part of the In Al Minas facility, and some hostages were released. There are unverified reports that dozens have been killed and injured, while many managed to escape. Near the Libyan border, In Al Minas is operated by Algeria's state gas firm, British Petroleum, and Norway's Statoil. Although the UK has complained that it was not informed of the plan, Algeria said it had to act quickly. The operation has enabled us to neutralise an important number of terrorists and to free a significant number of hostages. But unfortunately, some people have been killed and injured. For the moment, we don't have definitive figures. Details of who was behind the attack and why are also sketchy. Media in the region has reported that the siege may be a retaliation for Western intervention in Mali. The plant employs many foreigners, and Irishman Stephen McFall was one of the first to escape.
We face a very bad situation at this BP gas compound in Algeria. A number of British citizens have been taken hostage. Already we know of one who has died. The Algerian armed forces have now attacked this compound. It is a very dangerous, a very uncertain, a very fluid situation, and I think we have to prepare ourselves for the possibility of bad news ahead. Cobra officials here are working around the clock to do everything we can to keep in contact with the families, to build the fullest possible picture of the information and the intelligence that we have. I've chaired meetings of Cobra today. I'll continue to do so, and I'll do everything I can to update people about what is a difficult and dangerous and potentially very bad situation.
Meanwhile, French President François Hollande spoke solemnly.
We are in an incredibly tense moment.
And the crisis seems to be unfolding in terrible conditions. The group behind the siege calls itself the Battalion of Blood and is thought to be led by Mokhtar Belmokhtar, long affiliated with Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb. Wednesday's attack saw 1 Algerian and 1 Briton killed and the remaining staff taken hostage. Among them were thought to be at least 40 foreign nationals. One French hostage told France 24 that the kidnappers had made some of them carry explosives. The Islamists have claimed that the attack was in retaliation for Algerian support of France's intervention in neighboring Mali.